How you doing? Got the More Amp podcast coming soon. Not all the way together. Mics and all of them ain't even put together yet, but it's coming. Just to let you know, for real. For real, for real. It's a reason for this podcast. Very, very, very important reason for me to launch this podcast. Me and my business partner, the More Amp podcast. It's a lot of reasons, and it's going to be a lot of fields we're going to cover with this podcast. But as far as the political side, I'm coming up with an economic and social plan that I believe Black people need to hear and need to apply to become self-sufficient and separate themselves from these Europeans financially and politically. Racism will never leave. Racism here for to stay. It's embedded in who they is as a people, as their system. You got to understand, before racism, you had classism. So in Europe, they had kings, queens, lords, knights, peasants. They had a permanent underclass they had created. So they came to America, and blacks and natives was here and living peacefully, and so they decided to enslave them, but you understand that. But what I want to say is the term white trash come from white people in Europe. See, America was established to produce for England, for Europe. That's what America was established for, to produce wealth. It was basically supposed to be a manufacturing land. It was supposed to be for harsh labor. Richard Hattix, an English colonist, in his disclosure of Western planting, called America wasteland to the Queen, and he lived it, and he believed it would take a lot of labor. So Richard Hattix, an English colonist, believed it would be difficult to settle America. So he felt that it would take a lot of labor for them to do this land because they thought it was harsh and they hadn't really seen it or dealt with it that much. So what they did, they massively imprisoned who they call vagants, the prisoners, and they brought them over here, sold them into indentured servitude. This is what Europe did. So Europe always had the intention of creating a permanent underclass. Thomas Jefferson had believed in what was called the fortuitous concurrence of breeders. So he believed only the smart people, certain skilled and intelligent, and certain level people should breed. The higher class, the higher up people. So what America did was America had created a caste system for whites as well. They had what they called the cracker whites in the South. So they have decided to have a permanent underclass in America. But poor whites have decided to make blacks that permanent underclass. So I don't agree with that. I'm not finna be underclass to nobody. I'm not beneath anybody. So what I'm doing is launching this podcast to inform us on what's going on politically, economically, socially, because it's time for us to get a separation from the Europeans. It's 2020. We still dealing with racism. We still dealing with people who hate you just because of your skin color. What we have to understand is that even in the Bible, God has separated people because they couldn't get along. Your reverends, your preachers, Christians, they're not going to tell you that because they're beholden to white people. But the Egyptians in Egypt, the Israelites was doing bad, was treated bad. They was told to leave Egypt. So I just want us to understand that, my people.